MegaPodTastic.
Good morning, MegaPodlings. Krazy Joe here, and this video is by request. Someone in one of my Krazy After Dark, as they're now named, thanks for that name, Joey Baseball. I think it was Joey Baseball that came up with that, but he's certainly been the one reminding me to change the name. But yeah, my Monday live streams are now called Krazy After Dark. But on one of those Krazy After Dark live streams, someone suggested I do my ranking of the best and the worst of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now, if you'll forgive me, I do have two warring factions at my feet that I have to keep an eye on. Come on up, Oreo. Oreo here and Jules do not get along. And Oreo is at my feet, and I have to make sure that a fight does not ensue and that there is no vet visit. You want to say hello, Oreo? Hello. Anyway, I will try to hold him for a little bit to keep him away from Jules, but he really wants to be on the floor, so I don't know how well this will go. All right, there are 21 films right now. Tickets went on sale for Avengers Endgame just yesterday, but there's 21 films that we have seen in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I have my ranking of worst to best. So here we go. Marvel Cinematic Universe, worst to best. At number 21, my pick for the worst film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Thor: The Dark World. I was a big fan of the original Thor. This one was a letdown. This one was a real letdown. Now, I should say that I don't believe there is a single bad movie in the MCU. I have liked all 21 of these films. So I would not even call Thor: The Dark World a bad movie. It's just when you have 21 films, one of them has to be the weakest. And this, in my opinion, is the weakest out of those 21 films. It's still heads and tails above other superhero movies like Batman and Robin, which I think is one of the worst movies ever made, and even like Superman 3 and 4, which are terrible movies, but they're kind of likable because Christopher Reeve is just hard not to like. He's got a lot of sincerity. It's hard not to like a Christopher Reeve movie. So, yeah, this is heads and tails above other superhero movies, but in the MCU, which has up till now been the cream of the crop of superhero movies, this is the weakest entry out of 21, I believe. But it does have Doctor Who's Christopher Eccleston as the villain, and Doctor Who's David Tennant would be the villain later on in the MCU on Jessica Jones. So I think we need like Peter Capaldi and Matt Smith to be villains in the MCU, just so we can have all the Doctors as villains, and all the modern day Doctors, I should say. Jodie Whittaker, she's got to finish her run. Her too, but she's got to finish her run as the Doctor first. We need all the ex-Doctors to become modern-day ex-Doctors. So I'm not counting, the old school guys, because, I mean, we could count them too. I mean, if you want to make old Tom Baker a villain, go for it. But anyway, that's my number 21 on my pick for worst to best, Thor: The Dark World. Coming in at number 20. My second least favorite film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Doctor Strange. Now, I should be honest, this is not like a terrible movie. Like I said, I like them all. But I don't think I'm a huge Doctor Strange fan. It's the character more than the movie. I just don't relate to this character. He's, to me, he's the poor man's Dr. Fate. I'd rather be watching a movie about Dr. Fate, to be honest. I like Dr. Fate better. But, yeah, it's my second least favorite. It's good. It's what my good friend Dave, but though he likes the movie, but it's what he refers to as, to me, it's what he refers to as wizard shit. Though he's quick to point out, he's not a wizard, he's a sorcerer. But, come on, that's a thin line. So, number 20 on my list is some wizard shit. Doctor Strange. All right, and coming in at number 19, and this is one that is going to be a great divide between me and a lot of people, because a lot of people I know put this on the tops of their list. I think it's one of the best, and I just don't get it. Wish I did, want to get it, but I don't get it. I thought this was one of the weaker entries in the MCU. Coming in at number 20, I've got Black Panther. I saw this movie 3 times in the theater, trying to see what everyone else saw in it that I did not, but it just never connected with me. I think it's one of the most boring MCU movies. It does not have nearly enough action. The scene at the casino in Korea is pretty cool, and then the final battle is great, but in the middle there's just all these dead spots where nothing seems to happen. And it also is one of the more serious MCU films. I kind of like the MCU humor. His sister Shuri provided a bunch of laughs, but she's not in the movie near enough. The movie needs more comedic moments, and it needs more action. But this is number 20 on my list, Black Panther. All right, coming in... Oh, no, number 19. I said number 20. Black Panther's number 19. Coming in at number 18. We're going... And there's Jules making his appearance. One of the early entries in the MCU, Captain America, the First Avenger. Again, not a bad movie. It's good. But what came next was better. It suffers from the fact that it doesn't really have an ending, because we all know Captain America's story, how he ends up in ice and then gets frosted out years later. So, I mean, it was what it was. You had to end the way it ended. But as a result, the movie doesn't really kind of have an ending. It just kind of stops. And the director, Joe Johnston, I'm a big Joe Johnston fan. He made Jurassic Park 3. He made The Rocketeer, which is a fabulous movie. And Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Great director. But you see the way Jules is eyeing the dog up? This is why I have to, keep an eye on them. Jules, man, he means business. He's the flirkin here. He comes after this dog. Don't worry, Oreo, I got you. Yeah, so this is number 18 on my list, Captain America, the First Avenger. All right, at number 17, another one of the very, very early ones. Jules, I don't have a free hand to pet you. I'm holding Oreo. I'd pet you, man, but I don't. The Incredible Hulk. Ed Norton, The Incredible Hulk, the second movie in the MCU. Not a bad movie by any means. It's pretty good. It's the best Hulk movie we've ever had. Not that there's much competition, because the only other Hulk movie we had was the one with the Ang Lee movie, and that was severely flawed. I like this movie. I'm as good as Mark Ruffalo is. It's a shame we didn't get to see more of Ed Norton. Ed Norton did a great job. He wasn't let go because he was bad. He was let go because he was difficult to work with on set. But it's a shame, because it would have been nice to see Ed Norton continue in the role. And the only actor from this movie who's gone on to be in other MCU movies is William Hurt as Thunderbolt Ross, because he was in Civil War and he was in the last Avengers movie. Oh, okay, Jules. All right, Jules, now you're blocking the camera. Now you're blocking the camera, buddy. All right, I apologize. Jules is jealous because Oreo is getting the limelight right now. Okay, Jules, you can't block the camera, man. You want to stand up there, you can stand up there. Where am I? Number 16. Coming in at number 16. Ant-Man. Paul Rudd is Ant-Man. This is a fun movie. I really enjoyed this movie. Obviously, a lot of behind-the-scenes turmoil. Jules, don't knock that camera over. Oh, Jules, okay, I got to put you on the floor if you're going to do that, man. I'm sorry, I got to put you on the floor, buddy. I got to do it. I got no choice. You're going to knock the camera over. He was nuzzling the camera. That was going to go down in a minute. Okay, you calm down. Now he's getting excited. What do they say? Never work with children and animals? I like this movie. A lot of behind-the-scenes turmoil. The original director, Edgar Wright, obviously walked away, but Peyton Reed just nailed it. Did an excellent job. I really hope they get Peyton Reed to direct Fantastic Four, now that the rights to Fantastic Four are back with Disney. He was supposed to do it in the 90s, and he had a script and a treatment of what he wanted to do. And he's actually indicated he still wants to do Fantastic Four. So Disney, if you're listening, let Peyton Reed do FF. So yeah, that is number 16 on my list, Ant-Man. Okay. All right, number 14. Number 15 on my list. The original Iron Man, the one that started it all. This is a great movie. Obviously, it suffers a little bit from originitis, a little too many scenes in the caves at the beginning. But this is This is a movie strong enough to lead a franchise that expands eventually to 22 films with Avengers Endgame. So this is a great film. And, you know, as much as we love this movie now, it's easy to forget. This movie was overshadowed the year it came out. When this movie came out in 2008, it was easily overshadowed by The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight was the movie that got all the attention. So, there we go. Number 14. Ant-Man and the Wasp. A sequel better than the original. Peyton Reed again. Great movie. First Marvel movie to have a female character in the title, which was a big deal. And I like this. Like it a lot. I can't wait for an Ant-Man 3. You know what I'd love to see for Ant-Man 3? I've said this before. Don't worry, Mario. Just straighten in the discs. I said this before, but for Ant-Man 3, now that Disney and Marvel are one, I'd love to see Rick Moranis make a cameo as Wayne Szalinski from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and reveal that back in 1989, which was the year Honey, I Shrunk the Kids came out, he and Hank Pym had collaborated on shrink technology together. That would be kind of a fun little thing, I think. Okay, number 11 is Age of Ultron, Avengers Age of Ultron. The sequel to Avengers. Avengers was such a monster hit. It's going to be hard to live up to Avengers, really. But this movie was pretty good. The last movie Joss Whedon did for the MCU before he left to do Justice League for DC, which I think Justice League is a better film than Avengers Age of Ultron. But I like Avengers Age of Ultron. That was the movie that gave us Scarlet Witch. Do you want me to put you down, buddy? I'll put you down, but don't get in any trouble, okay? I'm going to hold your leash. I don't want any fighting. I don't want any fighting, man. All right. At number 10, I have Spider-Man Homecoming. Spider-Man's first entry into the MCU. Interestingly enough, while this is the first Spider-Man movie in the MCU, it's only my second favorite Spider-Man movie. I really like Spider-Man 2, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2, better than this. This is a weird movie because it's a great movie, but there's something missing. There's something Spider-Man-y missing about it, and that is, it feels like Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. You know, you watch Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, you got Indiana Jones, but you don't have any of Indiana Jones' supporting characters. Marion isn't there, and Marcus Brody isn't in Temple of Doom, and Sala isn't in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, and all these characters who we come to know through the other movies as Indy's like supporting characters, none of them are in Temple of Doom except Indy. It's like if you made a Star Wars movie. Well, Star Wars is a bad example because they're making those standalone Star Wars movies now, but it's like if in the 80s we got Star Wars, but then instead of Empire Strikes Back, we just got a movie with Han Solo and nobody else from Star Wars. It would have seemed a little odd, you know? Well, that's what this Spider-Man feels like to me. Because we got Spider-Man, and yeah, we have a very different Aunt May and a very different Flash Thompson. But there's no Mary Jane. I mean, we have a character that they call MJ, but she's not Mary Jane. And we don't have a Gwen Stacy, and you know, Uncle Ben doesn't die in this movie. We never see Uncle Ben. It feels a little odd. I think Spider-Man 2 feels more like a Spider-Man movie than this. But this is my second favorite Spider-Man movie. And it is my number... Oh, what did I say? Number 10 pick for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Is that right? 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, that's right. Number 10. All right. At number 9, I'm afraid I don't have an image to show you because the movie's still in theaters. My number 9 pick is Captain Marvel. I really enjoyed Captain Marvel. It's great. I've seen it a couple times. I really, really, really like Captain Marvel. So that's my number 9 pick. At number 8, I have Iron Man 2, my second favorite Iron Man movie. Really liked this one a lot. Unlike the first one, which had originitis, this one just, you know, hit the ground running. And it's got one of my favorite villains in the MCU, Sam Rockwell's Justin Hammer. I really like, I'm a big Sam Rockwell fan. Sam Rockwell's great, and he's great in this movie. So Really like that one. That is my number 8 pick, Iron Man. Number 9. My number 9 pick is Iron Man 3. Sorry, my counting is off. Number 9 is Iron Man 3, my favorite Iron Man movie. I really, really like this one a lot. Shane Black. They got to get Shane Black to do another MCU movie because he just knocked this out of the park. Love this movie. And the twist. Oh, my God. There's a twist in this movie. If you haven't seen Iron Man 3, I'm sorry for ruining it. But there's a twist in this movie that I never saw coming. And let's put this into perspective. This movie came out the same summer as Star Trek Into Darkness. And there was a twist in Star Trek Into Darkness that everybody knew walking in. And when the character in Star Trek Into Darkness revealed his true identity, it was supposed to be this big, shocking dun-dun-dun moment, but everyone in the theater already knew. And it just landed with a thud. On the other hand, when we got to the twist in Iron Man 3, I was shocked. I really love Iron Man 3. All right, that was number 9. Number 8. Thor Ragnarok, the third Thor movie. This movie was just so much fun. This is basically the Planet Hulk story from the comics, but Disney doesn't want to make a Hulk sequel because Universal would get to distribute it, and they don't want that. So they have to squeeze all their Hulk stuff into other movies. And this basically was Planet Hulk. This was a fun movie. It's my second favorite Thor movie. And Mark Ruffalo and Chris Hemsworth just bounce off each other perfectly. Taika Waititi, I hope I pronounced his name right. He knocked this out of the park. I hope he does more Marvel movies. He's going to do an episode of The Mandalorian, I believe, for Star Wars. So that's something to look forward to. And he's got a new show on FXX. He directed the pilot, but it's What We Do in the Shadows, the series. So good show. Number 7. The original Thor. This was my favorite Marvel solo film. And when I say solo film, I mean, you know, not a group film like Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy. For a long time, this was my favorite solo film. But a couple movies came along that did top it, but it's still one of my favorites. It's still just a tremendous movie. This movie has so much humor in it. And it's the biggest role I think Clark Gregg has in any of the movies. I really like this. This is a terrific movie. Number 5, Avengers, the original Avengers movie. This was groundbreaking when it came out. This was just groundbreaking. I love this movie. It's so good, and it's. I mean, when you look at it now, it's got its flaws, but it was so groundbreaking at the time. Yeah, number 5, Avengers. It's terrific. It's terrific. Number 4, Captain America Civil War, or as I like to call it, Avengers Civil War, because this is really Avengers 3. It's not Captain America 3. All the Avengers are in this except for Hulk and Thor. Everyone else is in here. So this is Avengers 3. Avengers Civil War. That should be the title. But this is just a great movie. Terrific. It sets the stage for a lot of what comes in the second half, and the dog and the cat are at it. Okay, Oreo, stay away from him. Stay away. Stay away. Let's wrap this up so I can get these two away from each other. Captain America Winter Soldier. My favorite of the solo films, non-team-up films. Though Black Widow's in this, so it's kind of sort of a team-up. I really love this one. This one, you can watch it over and over and over again. Just a terrific movie. This is first movie that the Russo brothers did, obviously. So, yeah, these guys, they knocked it out of the park. Terrific. My number 4. My number 3, the original Guardians of the Galaxy, James Gunn. James Gunn, man, this is wow. Did any of us, if you don't like Guardians of the Galaxy, I just don't understand it. It's great. I just don't get it. My number 2, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, a sequel even better than the original. And it's got the best villain in the entire MCU. That is Ego the Living Planet. Why is Ego such a great villain? Because he's just evil. My God, what he did to Peter's mother, I hope I'm not giving away spoilers, but when you find out, it's just like, it's heartbreaking. It's, you know, it's like, he did what? Like, it's just, man, I love this movie. James Gunn, thank God he's coming back for Volume 3. That's all I have to say. I can't wait for his Volume 3. I can't wait for his Suicide Squad. The man is great. And the #1 movie in the MCU, my absolute favorite MCU movie, Avengers Infinity War, a movie I would go on to say is the best superhero movie ever made. This is a movie that's got it all. So there you go. Sorry I got my numbers mixed up. I'll put the numbers down below, so even though I may say the wrong number, you'll see the right number. I apologize. It's my notes here. I got gaps, and it's my fault. I screwed this up. But that's it. That's my top 21 films in the Marvel MCU. And I'll come back and I'll do one for my top films in the DC Cinematic Universe. But it's going to be a much shorter video because there's only like, what, six movies in the DCU? So, keep wearing those pajamas.
Keep wearing those pajamas with the plastic feet. Keep wearing those pajamas. Tell everyone you meet. Keep wearing those pajamas with the back door flap. Keep wearing those pajamas. Don't open, it's a trap. Oh no, it's a trap. Some people call them PJs, but people call them jammies. They can come embroidered with big money and no whammies. They can have 100 tiny commander pajamas, but no matter how they look, just keep on wearing those pajamas. Keep on wearing those pajamas. Keep wearing those pajamas. And now we're having fun. Keep wearing those pajamas. And now the song is done.